Alright, so in the bottom left as player 1, we have Saikoya playing Sedge versus Emmerich in the top right being played by Spotyus.
So they're actually doing they're doing different openings. Saikoya is going vertical. I think Saikoya prefers vertical from what I've seen, and Spotyus is going horizontal. So what this means is probably their two commanders will end up fighting or meeting each other in the top left corner over here. I'm interested to see whether um, Spotyus will go for a wagon build, which I typically do when I do this opening. It's also possible to not do that.
I wouldn't say. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people have done a lot of optimization on openings on this map. So
Oh yeah, on most maps in general, I would say.
yeah, but this one in particular, I think there are like 3 routes you can take your commander. You can go vertical, you can go kind of like diagonal through the middle, and you can go horizontal across. And there's variants of like you get the wagon sometimes, or like you don't get the wagon. The wagon allows you to go like very horizontal very quickly and challenge your opponent's early units on the side that they're normally being aggressive on. And you can like feed groove to your commander by doing that. And then there's also things like if you go vertical against your opponent going horizontal, that means that you will challenge their commander to a duel with your commander. Or you can also just go center from this route, right? You could capture this village from the right with Sedge and then move across to the center.
Saikoya's not going for that, so
He's going for, he doesn't even heal, he's just going to go for a heal off this village in the front actually by the looks of things.
yeah, that's what I think. Because that's what Saikoya did in our game 1 as well. I think so far Saikoya is doing his exact opening from the game that we played. Possibly with a slightly different capture order in the bottom, but it's not too different. He interchanged the order of a couple of the swords, but it's not a big deal. So Spotyus is also like doing. I think Spotyus is actually doing exactly what I did when I played this. Oh, okay, now it's different. Because I went for wagon and Spotyus is going for something else.
I think he just wants to go center actually.
Okay. I mean that's fair, but now what's going to stop Sedge from controlling the top left? So Saikoya can probably get an early advantage by just using Sedge and the swords to control the top left. And Spotyus will only control one village in the bottom right. So overall Saikoya will probably be ahead by 200 income. Also, it's also interesting to note this opening, even though I used it against Saikoya in our game, I actually realized later on it's not like exactly optimized. There's some capture order stuff you can do on the right side to make it a little bit better. Mostly involves capturing the hideout earlier and then chaining that hideout into like the village below it. But yeah, anyway, it's a digression.
Something actually, just as a little bit of a note of kind of like role reversal. So in the previous game on open season, we had Saikoya going for like the back capture plays and then getting ready to just push up through the map. And Spotyus was the one that was kind of extending quite far. And there we have like the opposite, like Spotyus has done all the back capture. And I would say he's like getting ready to push up, but honestly like Saikoya has a lot more stuff. Like good positions.
Yeah. I feel like on this map, pushing up is better because you have towers in like really good positions. You can just make balloons, and the balloons are like in position to just immediately support the fronts. On open season, the crucial difference is that one of the barracks does not have a tower like in front of it, which can be used as a convenient balloon pickup point. So that's one of the key differences I feel, which makes like pushing up better on this map. Actually, Spotyus is ahead on income for now. But Saikoya, once he does all these captures, he has 3 neutral villagers he can capture. After he does those, he'll be up on income.
Okay, and this harpy is much needed because otherwise Sedge would just be able to
I feel like
shred
Sedge-
it. Yeah, he'd just be able to shred everything up in this top left corner. So harpy, obviously the counter, like the mage is gonna take a little bit to get up here.
not that big of a counter, if I'm being honest. I feel like Saikoya will just get an attack. Like he might just kill this sword on the right, get a free kill, and then just run back to Sedge. Because there's not a lot you can do to stop that. And Saikoya really excels at finding the safe pressure most of the time. Sometimes he dies, but most of the time it's really safe pressure.
And, you know, just like sometimes he dies. But
Well, I mean, I have to give credit to the most of the time, right?
yeah, like most of the time it's fine. And there isn't a lot of road tile on this map, so
Actually, hold on. If Sidge went for that sword on the right, actually it might be a bait because Sidge might get surrounded.
yeah, I think that's the big strength of the harpy. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it's a surround unit in
Right.
this circumstance anyway.
So we're going to decap. Probably going to decap. Oh, he's not going to decap. Okay, yeah, that's a smart thing to do because if you decap this turn, you enable um, Spotyus to just recapture it immediately, and then it's back to 5 health. Whereas now you can actually decap next turn and then recapture it immediately for a friendly village.
That's
So
a
I think that,
really smart optimization. I mean, I do think though, if the sword did come down to capture, although I guess the dog would follow up to keep it safe. So yeah, it's this way. You are correct. Like the 6 health sword can hit the village again next turn,
right.
and Saikoya can just continually bring units up to this front to make the like when he does go for the flip on it, he will do so in a very safe manner.
Oh, we do see Saikoya going for this kill over here. I think it actually is a bait by Spotyus. Um, we might see the surround attempt next turn. Although I do think, oh wow, okay, so Saikoya straight up gonna allow that, huh? Okay, so now it's time to see whether the surround works. So Emmerich can definitely hit from below Sedge. Then the dog will come to the left of Sedge, but you can't hit from there because if you hit from there, then one of the swords will take it out. So then that leaves you with a potential attack by um, by a sword from the right of Sedge, which would be totally safe. Then a harpy could just it won't be able to attack Sedge, but it could just fly in and block something.
I think actually, huh? Because I mean, like the immediate thought is like the harpy runs and hits the village, but if it does hit the village, then
Yeah, because then that would allow sort of it gives the more potential for Sedge to heal more easily after that. Oh, this is a terrible roll. Feels like a terrible roll.
yeah, that is not ideal in any way.
Is there counter lethal? Maybe not. Probably not.
If more units get thrown at Sedge, there's no counter lethal.
Okay, so I think now that okay, so he just decaps it anyway. Now that Sage has rolled, now that Sage is at 60, I think you go in with the sword first because that's always safe. Then after that, Dog can come in from the left and attack Sage, and then there will actually be a surround. Because
Do
I
you
don't
even
think Dog.
attack with the dog?
I mean, you don't have to, but I think it's actually safe now that Sage is so low because the counter attack damage from Sage will probably not be enough. But you're right that it's like probably safer just not to go for that.
And yeah, like you just like have one of the swords hit, like the other sword.
So I think what Spotyus should do now is he probably needs balloon and dog on the left side. Then the next turn the dog can jump in the balloon, and that will enable some nice dog crits on Sitch. To
Oh, he
follow up.
goes for the attack.
I think no, this is good. This is good because at 64, that's not going to die to a sword attack, and yeah, so this is probably the right way to do it. So I do think. How does Saikoya escape this actually? Because yeah,
I don't know if
feel
he
like
can. Like, I mean, so the mage shield can come down on him. He does have that option.
that's true, but I don't think that'll put him out of lethal range though. So I do feel like although hold on, like in order to do the balloon dog play, it kind of relies on you having 4 sides open, and depending on what Saikoya does, Saikoya could get only 3 sides open. You could attack this dog, kill it with Sedge, then get a sword crit actually on like this other sword that Spotyus put nearby.
And I guess like you just throw your own sword at Emmerich.
So Spotyus gets a mage, but I think that's not going to do enough. Like I don't think this is a kill now. If it was a like it would have to okay, so Spotyus would probably have needed a witch to ensure the kill over here. I feel like now, because this mage is not in range of healing Emmerich, which is the crucial thing. That's the big downside of this mage, and I feel like now it doesn't work.
I don't see a way of him ending his turn where he isn't open on 4 sides though.
So the way for him to do that would be sword goes onto forest, attacks the dog, then Sedge finishes it off, and then the sword comes in from the left and crits this sword on top, and then you could also hit Emmerich with the sword from the bottom, and then mage heal Sedge and this sword that you crit with.
Oh, actually, you could heal it at both swords, so they'd all be on full health.
Yeah. No, you can't heal both, but you can heal one of them.
No, they create like a little triangle.
I think we're talking about different plays then.
So like, sword runs into the forest, hits dog, Sedge kills dog where he's standing, and then the sword crit comes in.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So you can heal 2 out of the 3 swords.
Yeah.
But I feel like this just doesn't work now because Sedge will be up to 58. Actually, Sedge could just go for like massive damage on Emmerich. Like just hit with a couple swords first, then get a really big mage heal on Sedge and 2 swords. And then Sedge would be at 58, and you have like a couple dogs and a harpy. Probably might still be enough. This is the point where I think Sneaky Dragon should be commentating. Anyway.
I feel like if he like max rolled that sword, like he could potentially have killed Emmerich.
Really?
Maybe. Oh, I guess like if both swords max rolled and like Sedge max rolled, like there was a possible lethal, but nah, like not at the moment. Like I think he's just gonna have to do as much damage as he can. I mean, like the disadvantage here is that like some units can get suicided into Sedge, which is
No, but like the suicides don't matter here because Sedge is already open on 4 sides. Like with this play, Saikoya has committed to leaving Sedge open on 4 sides. So I mean, you do have, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. So having 2 suicides would be good. But I also feel like Emmerich is going to drop down so low that the suicide won't matter.
oh, so he's gonna
Or-
hit Emmerich, right?
Yeah. Actually, I think that was the wrong sword to hit Emmerich with.
Yeah,
Because
because
if
he
you
could
hit
have.
with, yeah, because if you hit with the other one, oh, interesting. Oh, it kills the dog.
Ooh, I like this actually because
Yeah, actually, this is much better. Oh, doesn't go for the.
oh, that
Doesn't
would
go.
actually open that up as a suicide. So
Um, this is very confusing now. Okay, so the sequence I have planned out in my head is Emmerich's. You don't actually attack with Emmerich now because he's at too low health. You bring Emmerich back into the forest, and then you get a sword suicide crit, and then you have dog sword crit and harpy crit. Okay, I'm gonna run the numbers on that one.
that might do it. Hang on, dog's like 20, 22. This is what, like 7, he's on 58. Harpy is 20 as well.
Yeah, I feel like that is it's not guaranteed, but it's pretty good odds.
Yeah, and you could even uh just to keep Emmerich a bit safer after he goes into the forest, like drop a mage heal on him.
Right. So the key thing here is I believe you cannot heal the sword before you try suiciding. That would just not work.
Yeah, like that breaks the sequence. So will Spotyus figure this out? Because this was actually a pretty good turn from Saikoya.
I feel like Saikoya's critical mistake here is he didn't, like, paradoxically he didn't injure the sword. Like this full health sword. Yeah, okay. No, he doesn't do the crit. Oh no, does it still work? Oh, actually he rolled quite. Did he roll quite high on that?
5.
He rolled
Ooh.
5. That's a low roll. It's incredible low roll. Potentially he still has it. That's okay. So the other thing is, would that have? Yeah, I feel like it would definitely still have been a guaranteed suicide if it had been a crit. So I guess Spotyus might have messed this one up a little bit, but maybe he still has it.
I think it could still work.
It could still work, but now it's like more RNG based and like less guaranteed. Actually, no. No, it's pretty guaranteed anyway, right? Because that's an expected 62 and Sedge is at 53.
Yeah, like your average rolls here are like 19. Probably like another 19 if we're being generous. That's like 38, and then a sword crit. I think that's he would have to like do serious low rolls on like the remaining hits.
Right. I mean, and he actually low rolled the initial sword suicide too. So I think he sees it. He's going for it. Slightly less. Oh, that is average, which is all that is needed. Okay. I think this is guaranteed now. Almost definitely guaranteed.
15, yeah, that's guaranteed.
GG. Okay, Barrett, you're right. Remember when you said at the start, imagine if Spotyus win this game? Oh man.
Oh, yeah, and then like losing again to an overextension.
To be fair, that was a really nice bait from Spotyus. Like, if you were playing quickly and you didn't really stop to think about it, if I was playing quickly and I didn't really stop to think about it, I probably would have done that too.
I would
So,
never have hit that. I would have gone up to the left instead.
okay, I mean, fair enough. You know,
Yeah, like it. That's way too obvious a bait. Um, especially, especially if you're leaving your commander in range of their commander. Like that's
yeah.
when you know like big damage can come down. Like,
So
but
really well played to Spotyus. Set up the bait, got the bait, and Saikoya got baited.
yeah, he walked into a trap. I mean, game two, it
Massive.
wasn't even a trap. It was just like he walked his commander onto a road when he
You,
had no
you
reason
just
to.
got baited. Baited.
Oh, and
Baited.
I mean, this video. I mean, the video for this stream is not going to be that long, so people are gonna perhaps think that game two was actually just like a really long game. But
You just got baited.
yeah, that was. I mean, the really sad thing there is Sedge almost had groove as well. So if he lived, he would have been like complete. He would have been a force of nature. But
Yeah.
I think you were right about like he should have sword critted, Spotyus' sword, and that would have actually kept him alive. So
Yeah. It's counterintuitive because you think that, oh, I don't want to allow this suicide, but then you look at like what's actually on the board, then you realize there aren't enough attackers to kill Sedge if you crit him, or if you crit the sword. So yeah. Major oof.
yeah, big oof. And I mean, I think he could have potentially high rolled like 3 times there to like get a lethal, but. And Spotyus is saying in chat, like, he just missed the crit. But the sword after, and yeah, I think. Oh well. Let's go back to this scene.
Yeah, it was totally a bait.